Alright, the Barcelona game ended 2-0 to Barcelona versus Athletic Bilbao. Honestly, the game should have finished probably 5-0, but if it wasn't for a nice Simon with the man of the match performance, I believe he made what 8 or 9 saves, big saves too throughout the match. Alright, I'm gonna start from the bottom, give but like match ratings for each of the Barca players, and maybe a little bit into the Athletic Bilbao players. Right, with Joan Garcia, I don't think Joan Garcia was very noticeable. Right? He had a few moments where he came off his line pretty quick, where he did well, but he didn't really have to make any big saves, right, with his hands. So I guess about a 7. Fine. Eric Garcia, he was steady. I mean, he didn't push on too much, but he was just solid defensively. It was a little. There's a couple moments where he did struggle with Nico Williams. For the most part, I think he kept him pretty quiet. I think Kubarsi is 7.3. I think he's who's better than that. Some of the long passes he played, he's continued his amazing form from the World Cup, right? Honestly, I think if he's not, he's gonna be the best center back in the world. The way this guy is progressing is insane, right? And Jared Martin, he had a couple moments, like he had like 2 moments where like he switched off a little bit. With Jared Martin, I feel like he's always a player, right? That people always, he's not reliable enough to just like the spot people think Barcelona should upgrade, right? Even Laporte, who was a player that was linked to Barca to replace him, but it looks like Jared Martin's gonna be the star there for this season again. And Xavi's part, I don't know if his rating dropped. It's only a 7.4 because of the yellow card, but he was for me insane. Some of the runs was making him top, the defensive coverage, his build up play. For me, he's very good this game. And even last game too, he was really good. And I think Bernal was very solid. Bernal was dictating the play very well. He was doing very good, dropping in between the defenders. He he was just a solid game from him. And Pedri was insane today. Pedri could have easily been the man of the match for me too. So he was dictating the play, the long balls he plays, the accurate passes, his assist for Rafinha's goal was amazing too. The through ball he gave perfectly. I know Pedri had a bit of a down in World Cup, but I think what we're gonna see, what we've been seeing from him in the past almost 2 seasons, right? And Fermin, I didn't like Fermin throw a couple transitions of the game, but he was okay. He grabbed a lucky goal at the end. I don't know if Laporte was trying to clear the ball there or pass it back to Unai Simon, but Fermin tapped it into an open net. Simple, right? I think he looked a little better to me once Rafinha came off, and he was playing more as a nine, making those runs in behind or linking up with Lamine. And Gordon, for me, he was okay. I'm gonna be honest. He won a couple 1v1s, maybe, but he was it was just okay. He was in nothing too great. He probably should have grabbed the goal. I'll get into that right now. Lamine created, what was it, 6 chances? Created 5 chances. Um, for me, he should have finished that 1-on-1. He, I don't know if he hit when I see him on shoulder or head, but he could have swept that easily to Anthony Gordon too for the tap in. But he looked way better compared to last match. Last match he looked very rough. I think we're gonna see the best of him hopefully. And then with Rafinha, captain today, amazing goal he took. Uh, going past Unai Simon and then just tapping it into the open net right after getting past him. He looked very good making those runs in like he's a natural nine. If he's gonna be the player playing at nine this year, I think he'll do very well if Barca doesn't bring in another one. I'm gonna go a little bit into the bench. Danny Olmo coming in, I think he did very well. Uh, after he came in, so he would interchange a little bit with Fermin that nine position. I think he looked better in between those pockets, right, linking up the play. And Roger came in. I'll be honest, Roger. I mean, maybe because the game was Athletic Club was pushing up a little bit. The game was kind of bypassing him. They were playing more long balls. So he wasn't you didn't see him too much throughout the game. And then Jules Kunde, I didn't really. He wasn't. He did have a moment where he almost messed up. To be fair to him, and at the end he should have scored. He played 10 minutes, but he should have definitely scored. Across from Lamine, he hit it onto Unai Simon's. I mean, he made Unai Simon made a good save, right? But from that close in, he probably should have finished there. And Cancelo, you barely noticed. And for Bilbao, I just wanted. It was just Unai Simon was amazing. How many saves did he make? 8 saves, yeah. Very good saves. I know people doubt him a lot. Ended up being a starting goalie for Spain, who won the World Cup, right? And he had a very tough first game too. With Nico Williams and Inaki Williams wearing up to it today. They were bad. We both got subbed out in the 60th minute. Were the first subs for their athletic club, and that says a lot because they're usually two of their most effective players, right? And I think Barca at this rate, they continue like this, they're probably gonna walk the league again. If I'm honest, I don't think they. I don't think there'll be many clubs that give them too much difficulty because it's Athletic Club is usually one of those teams, right? They should be giving them a tough match, but no, it wasn't that. So and then uh, I think when Roger gets obviously maybe probably he'll probably start next week. You play Monday, right? He'll probably start on Monday over Bernal. I think that'll be very useful for Bernal to learn under Roger because I think Roger will probably have what 2 years to Barca, 3 years maybe starting, and he could Bernal probably take over that spot. And then I think at the Yemi is very good. He's been very good. Very good squad option for Barcelona covering in for Gordon or Yamal. And honestly, I think Balde probably should have left. I don't think he'll get very much minutes this season, especially with even now Xavi Sport starting on the left side, right? And Derek Garcia being ahead of him, being the right back, and Kunde there, and Cancelo looks like he's a left back. He's gonna be the left back with Xavi Sport interchanging in that in there. I don't know if Balde might be the third choice left back. Well, he is. He was today at least. Balde, honestly, it might have been better for Barcelona to cash in on that. All right, let me know. I think at the end he's a very exciting player for Barcelona. He's super there. I know people might say he lacks the technical ability, but as soon as he came on, he's the one. He caused the second goal for Fermin, right? Being direct, putting the cross in. Maybe the cross wasn't as accurate, but it was him looking for that cross that led to Fermin to go. And I think Fermin's gonna be an exciting player. I think the breakout star obviously this year will be Xavi Spart. And I think he'll get a lot of minutes in midfield too. Because Pedri came out and he's the one that went into midfield next to Rodri. And during the preseason he was the player playing in midfield a lot. The only doubts with this team, right? Are is Jaron Martin and Kubarsi gonna have the strength to keep up with some of the nines, right? Some of the best nines, Holland, Kane, they're gonna have to come up against. Over the last 2 seasons now that they've been over mostly last season, they did well. I mean, let's see how they do this year because look at Barcelona isn't bringing in another center back, which I don't think they need too much, but I think they would have been nice for to have some more cover, right? Because Araujo leaving left that gap there, and it looked like Alvaro Cortez was gonna cover him as a backup, but he's leaving as well, right? And then honestly, I don't think Barcelona needs a nine with Rafinha playing up there. I don't think he needs nine. I think Abdul Karim too. He could do a job coming on off the bench. He hasn't played yet, but the way he looked in preseason, he could probably do a job there. He was looking very dangerous. I think in between the Copa del Rey matches, Champions League, and even in the league, can get some minutes and do well there. But it was just very underwhelming from Athletic Bilbao today. Let me know what your thoughts were on the Barcelona game. What are your thoughts for them throughout the season? Yeah, we'll leave it there.